Welcome to the Mike Al Show. Today I'm going to be talking about Purdue, sadly, the pitch clock that was implemented into the MLB this year, and Manny Machado. He's an interesting person to say the least. So first of all, we have Purdue. Purdue, the first game, they didn't show up the first half. Second game against IU, they didn't show up the second half. And they just got murdered yesterday. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. If they were standing on a beach, they couldn't hit the ocean. It was pathetic. When you have Edie score 20 points, getting double teamed every time, you need someone that can consistently hit open three-pointers. And they couldn't have anybody do that. And then they finally do it in the last 10 seconds of the game. Like, where's that been all game? But they're lacking in a lot of spots. And once teams finally figure out that all they have to do is double team Edie to win, Purdue is going to be in a heap of trouble. If they had Carson Edwards, when he was hitting threes from Purdue's logo, if they had him on this team, Purdue would win the national championship easily. But they're probably going to do normal Purdue and lose in the Sweet 16 to some mediocre team. That's normal Purdue stuff. I mean, they always get a big run and then start losing 3 out of the last 4 games this year, and it's just not good. They've not been doing good. And then against IU, they had absolutely no way to stop that Hood Shafi guy. There was 3 guys on IU that scored up until the 10 minutes left to go in the second half. It was Hood Shafi, who ended up with 35, Trey Galloway, and Miller Kopp. They did a great job at shutting Trace Jackson Davis down by double teaming him almost every play, but that left Hood Shafino to drive in and shoot a crap ton of wide open or contested jump shots, but he made every single one of them. And yeah, Purdue just did a terrible job at guarding him. But Purdue has already clinched a spot in the Big Ten championship because with Northwestern's loss today, they're all, I'm pretty sure, 11-7. It's like a 4-way tie between Northwestern, Maryland, IU, and Michigan, with Michigan's win today. So that's a little bit exciting. But Purdue needs to win the Big Ten championship after losing the last 3 out of 4. And then they play Illinois on Saturday and Wisconsin on Thursday, and they need to win out. I mean, they don't need to, but for ranking-wise in the tournament, they need to. And then for ranking, and then they'll get a big boost if they win the Big Ten championship, which they need to. For rankings, for the AP poll, they'll probably move down a little bit, maybe. I don't know. They shouldn't, based on what happened this week, they shouldn't move down at all because Virginia lost 2 this week, and they're number 6, so they'll move down a lot. Arizona lost 1 off that buzzer beater yesterday, so they'll probably stay the same. Texas lost once against Baylor, and then Baylor lost once, and they're 8-9, and then Tennessee lost, and they're 11. But no other team has the same record as Purdue that's below them. They all have 1 or 2 losses. So I think Purdue's going to stay at 5 or 6 this week. But if they don't pull their stuff together, they're going to be dropping a lot if they lose to Wisconsin and Michigan. Michigan, that game today was pretty insane. After that guy hit that buzzer beater, and then they go into overtime and destroyed Wisconsin. That was pretty cool. Next, I'm going to be talking about the pitch clock for this year. So the Red Sox, a game ended, well, I guess we'll start like this. Manny Machado was the first ever player to get a called strike on him for the pitch clock. And the way they do this is there's a 15-second pitch clock, and if you're not ready in the batter's box acknowledging the pitcher by 8 seconds left, you get an automatic strike. And if the pitcher hasn't thrown the ball within those 15 seconds, then it's an automatic ball. And if there's a runner on base, then it goes up to 20 seconds. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about this. I think it's going to make the game go faster, which will make it much more enjoyable for viewers. But at the same time, I don't really like I think it'll be fine once people get used to it, because then you won't have very many pitch clock violations, so it'll just become a more natural part of the game, and there won't be as much repercussions for it. Like this week, there was the Red Sox and Braves played, and the game ended in a 6-6 tie for preseason because there was 2 outs, full count. Cal Conley of the Braves was up to bat, and within those 8 seconds wasn't ready. Strike 3, ended the game, and it ended in a 6-6 tie. For a fan watching that game, that would have been the worst way to go out. Like, that would be such a bummer to lose, to tie, I guess. Ties suck anyways. Ties are worse than a loss, in my opinion, but yeah, that would just suck to lose by a pitch clock violation and not lose on your own will. So that's where my mixed feelings come in. But once people get used to it, it'll be just like the play clock in the NFL, where people will be used to it, and you'll have rare to little to none like violations of this rule. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Manny Machado. So after that first pitch clock violation that he got, I'm going to talk about he signed a 11-year, $350 million contract with the Padres today, which I thought was very strange. After he opted out of a 5-year, or he said he was going to opt out of a 5-year, $150 million contract within the last month, and he signed an 11-year, $350 million contract today. That's weird. I don't get where his mind is, where he says he's going to opt out of a 5-year, $150 million contract and leave next year, but he still said he's going to play his hardest this year. To go from that to automatically signing 11 more years with a team that you said you don't want to play for anymore, I don't get where his mindset is. And if he must have done it all for the money. There's no other explanation. I mean, $350 million is a lot. And if he lasted another 11 years, I'd be shocked. But that's just insane. Well, another thing. If you would like to join the fantasy baseball team or league that I've started for fans, then I'll have a link for you to click on. So make sure you go join that. It'll be fun. And I'll let you guys know when we'll have a draft, when the draft will be, and I'll record it for all of you guys. Well, thank you, and I'll see you again next time.